How's it going, everyone? It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Let's take a look at the pick from the last video, which was FTNT as a late day trade long. So this was the setup yesterday for FTNT. The market was in a weak bearish trend day, rejecting off 600, off a new all-time high on a gap up, filled in the gap, came back in, and we started to find some support, started to kind of get a little bit of a higher low here, and we got this buy signal. So it was looking decent, not a lot of great picks, but I thought FTNT was, first of all, a really nice stock on steady price action, totally ignoring the market. We got our exit signal, and then we got this fresh buy signal here on the stock. And we were able to take some really nice profits. So I got in right around 96.72. I'll use this stop here, 96.14, as my stop, and I wrote it out for a nice little 50-cent gain. So that was a nice win in FDNT. Current swings that we have right now is just team. And I like team so far. So if we zoom out here a little bit, let's look at what SPY's doing today. Now, longer term time frame. On SPY, we've had this pretty big move up to a new all-time high at 600. Do have this high plus trend line here, and it looks like we are certainly in a channel. Let's row off the top. And on a shorter term basis, so longer term, we're still pretty bullish. On a shorter term, we're just looking for a dip. So I'm mildly bullish in the shorter term, just kind of waiting out this cycle here. And you can see here's the price action the last couple of days. These pink lines are some anchored VWAPs from the open of prior days. Just experimenting a little more with them. You can see how we have some reactions at these levels. And a couple things here. First, obviously, they'll react intraday because the anchored VWAP intraday is just the VWAP. Now, the anchored VWAP from the 2 days ago typically will have some price interaction, and it can line up with some major points. So if you look over here, right, the anchored VWAP from 2 days ago over here tends to line up with the open or the gap fill that we had overnight. So this basically converges on our price point, and you can see the choppiness at this level as buyers and sellers were paired off. This anchored VWAP from November 7th, right, coming over here. So we got a test over here. We actually got almost got a test here on the 11th, and then you can see that we had some reaction over here today, which lined up with the prior day's low. So, the open, the close prior day's low, I think the AVWAPs tend to sort of converge on those price points. Now, the other thing you might notice is that we are starting to shift in the trend. So yesterday was the first day that we started higher and finished lower. So we made new lows. Okay, so that's the first sign. So this is the first little sign. Okay, now it's starting to slow down here. Here's the first sign. We got a little slap down. We got a higher low, and we're pushing in lower over here. We got 3 touches on this. So I see this bearish channel forming on an intraday basis. And this is telling in a few ways. First, on a shorter term time frame, tells us that one, here, I'd rather be short on the top of the channel than the bottom. But I'm also more importantly looking for the channel reversal or some sort of acceleration. So if we see some acceleration, potentially you might see this gap up over here, but 594, I'm watching this anchored VWAP. This is all the way from the open of the November 6th gap up. So I think that will be a decent spot of resistance. We'll see. I think 585 is the bigger resistance on the chart. This gap is a pretty big point of resistance. And this is maybe a little minor level. The 8 EMA is also catching up. That's at 590. So I think maybe give it one more day. when the 8 EMA starts to align with this anchored VWAP. This is coming in at 594. 8 EMA is 590 over here. So there'll be some support forming on that level. So market is selling off today. You can see the nature of this move. It's a pretty steady move lower, although it's kind of chunky, right? Like the organization is pretty good. And if you just look at, again, use the 8 EMA as your guide. When price is staying below that 8 EMA for the most part, we're getting a lot of test, move down, 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 right? Just a little back and forth. One, if you're shorting SPY, you do not want to short at the low here. Always try to get in at the 8 EMA. You're going to get a great price. Second is that there is some organization, there's low volume, and I'd consider this like a weak-ish organization move. So what I mean by that is that let's compare actually these three moves here, right? So this move down here. We're getting first a lot of same colors, right? Second, we are getting not too many wicks and tails. This one had a little bit over here, but this is more organized because the candles tend to start at the high and finish the open is the high and the close tends to be the low. Now here, right, we're getting one candle and then price moves sideways for a bit. One candle, we move sideways for a bit. So it's kind of like, it's like a ball dropping through a floor, holds for a bit, and then drops again. It's a bit stair-steppy rather than kind of a smooth, continuous movement up. Or movement down, I should say. But it is organized in the fact that we haven't had kind of these little back and forth chops, right? We haven't had this kind of movement here, right? Where this is not as organized because we're really moving sideways and chopping back and forth around the 8 EMA. When we start to move lower over here, that is when we get some semblance of organization. The other thing that's a factor is the low volume on this day. Might be a little bit of a dead day before CPI, although that economic news has been more devalued in terms of its market impact. So, low volume move down, and this is bullish on a shorter term basis because this kind of weak move lower is kind of what we want. And I'd love to see like a weak move lower, either a compression at LPT day for a day or two, or maybe some sort of selling climax, which we could get now because we're starting to break below this low minus trend line. So I think there's a decent chance for a selling climax. We have our 1 OP bullish cross over here. And I think we have a good chance of testing that AVWAP all the way, all the way over here at around 594.62. So, with all that, if we take a look at team here, team is holding up pretty well, holding all the gains. Now we know that this move that it can make a big move and then it can start to flatline here. So just watching for the selling climax. I'm not looking to enter any stock right now. I'm going to kind of wait for this to end. And then I will probably add to team in a little bit. Now, there's a little bit of conflict on team in the sense that we made a big move, right? Is this a pause? And I love this relative strength. So this tells me that the move is probably still going to continue. While the market has been moving down, right? Look at this relative strength here. Market's moving down. This stock is moving sideways. We got another exit signal. So maybe what I'll do is create an alert for another buy signal. Save that over here and just kind of wait out this market move lower. And then I'm going to look to add to this position. I have a nice entry point over at 233. So let's see what the stock continues to do. So let's look at some picks for today. One I really like is Amazon. We've been keeping our eye on it, and it broke out through this upward or this downward sloping trend line today. Check out the SPY overlay. Okay, so it broke through this downward sloping trend line today. Let's take a look at this. Right now, it's coming back in. It's going in for a little bit of a retest, and but so far, I mean, it's some really nice relative strength. Just want to see it sort of hold this level, this 208 ish level. We have some support at 206, so I'm going to lean on this level as my support. On a D1 basis, we have 203 over here and 200, so we got a little bit of support forming. We're holding this high of this candle. So that is what I like in Amazon. So again, I'm going to wait for the market to kind of stall a little bit more, and then I'm going to get in Amazon. I don't feel like I have to rush into this position right now. Just going to wait out this selling climax. Now, so that's going to be the pick of the day. If the market, here's what I want to see. I want to see Amazon close above 208. If it closes above 208, I'm going to take this trade today, and I'd do a starter position. Second pick for the day is going to be CART for an earnings time spread. So here's CART. We got a good price on this stock, and I know actually may not be able to see it, so we're going to bring it out. Okay, so here is CART. First, we got some good option liquidity. We got a good difference. Low times exceeded, and we have a good price. So that is why I like CART. Probably something like the 48 time spread is going to be our pick. So that is what we are going to take today. CART, and I'm going to load in Amazon. Yeah, so those are our picks. And again, keep in mind some of those end of year swings. So a couple of stocks you want to look out for. We already called that team, call that Amazon. Reddit is a nice one. PLTR is a nice one. Netflix is a nice one. So those are a couple more picks that I'm looking at. So right now I haven't posted Roblox here, but I'm in 3 longs, or I'm in 2 longs. Amazon will be a 3rd long. So looking for maybe 2 more longs here on this market dip that I can get into, and I look to add to some of those positions, and we'll ride them out for the end of the year. So that is it for today's video. That is your picks. Amazon on a pullback if it holds above 208. Market finds some support here. And CART as an earnings time spread, 48 calls. All right, I will see you all in the next video.